Welcome back everyone, this is MandoAllDay, back with another video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Atrocitus. This is from the Blackest Night Build-A-Figure wave. As always, we're going to be taking a look at the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's actually worth purchasing all the other figures to build Atrocitus. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to the support channel to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So, let's take a look at Atrocitus. Now, obviously there's no box for this, but if you see my previous videos, in order for you to build Atrocitus, you have to purchase the Blackest Night Build-A-Figure wave, which is Kyle Rayner, Black Lantern, Superman, and Deathstorm, and of course Batman. So this is what leads up to this Build-A-Figure. So in order for you to build this figure, you need to get the other figures, like I mentioned. And if you want to take a look at those, make sure you go to my channel. You'll see the other videos for the Build-A-Figure. The Build-A-Figure wave for Blackest Night. But anyways, regardless, though, here he is. Atrocitus finally final form, I guess you can say, and now he's fully built up. He looks really good, man. And I'll do some comparisons to other Build-A-Figures and Megafigs. But anyways, now let's get to the nitty-gritty. First off, that head sculpture looks really cool, man. I like the head sculpture. It looks really good. That teeth, that white on his teeth look very good. Again, those eyes are, well, not really white, but almost like a egg kind of colored white, if that makes any sense. But that detail on his skin right here on his forehead, here on, or around his lips, looks very good, very detailed. Head articulation, very good. Up and down, good. Left and right, good. In terms of the head sculpture design, clean, simple. The paint, again, obviously Atrocitus is how he looks, but clean, simple looking. I dig it. But that face, look at that. Look at all that detail. Fantastic, man. Shoulder pads here. Simple, clean looking design. They're not very a gloss kind of red. It's almost like a matte kind of look, but there's some parts to it that are glossy, so keep that in mind. I'm not too sure. You can see right there perfectly where this is not almost like matte, but then here you can see more of a gloss, so I don't know if it's supposed to be by default matte or a gloss, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at the arm articulation. Shoulder is good. Elbows is good. Wrist, it's good. And the gauntlets are here. Similar to this, where some of it is glossy, some of it's not. It's also present here on the gauntlets here on this wrist right here. But cool looking design again. Very cool, clean looking figure. It also, his bicep does have a kind of a textured material to it. You can really feel it. Similar to Kyle Rayner, where he has that kind of a textured material. It's definitely present on here on Atrocitus, but you can really feel it on here. But the sculpture design, look at his triceps. He does not skip arm day. The back here looks very good too. Same kind of textured material. Torso articulation, very good, man. Very good. But man, she just looks menacing. Look at that detail. Like that gloss red on it. Looks really good. What I like about it though is Atrocitus, that Red Lantern logo, how it's kind of like a matte look to it. Doesn't really shine. And that's good because that way when you see this red here, it really does pop. And I really dig it. He looks really good. Menacing, muscular, and he's just tall too, man. He looks really very good. And I gotta give it props though. Whoever designed this Build-A-Figure, props to you, because building this figure, it took me maybe less than a minute. Everything popped in perfectly. The only downside, and I have to give a negative to it, is going to be this piece right here, where it really just kind of goes in there like that. And mine doesn't really stick too well. Like, you can put pressure on it and it'll hold it, but it doesn't really, it easily pops off. See that? So it's kind of a downside to it. I'll just take it off, but it's kind of a downside to it. I wish these pieces right here were similar to the joints that are in here, where you can just pop it in. I think it would have stick more, but it is what it is. Not a big deal, but something that I noticed is unfortunate. So again, not a big deal, but it is what it is though. But let's just take it off for now. But I gotta say that in terms of the upper body, he looks very good, man. Just look at all that. The muscles, man. He looks massive, and he should be. He looks menacing too. Kind of looks funny now without it, but with this on though, he looks menacing, man. And the upper body looks very good. The wrist, not much going on. You can see a lot of the bones here. Obviously, you do see that ring right there. So overall, upper body looks good, menacing, clean looking Atrocitus sculpture. The paint's clean. It's a good looking figure. Now let's take a look at the legs. Leg articulation, good. Knees, good. Toes, they do articulate, but mine are a little stiff. But they do articulate. You can see that right there. So there's articulation. Just this one's very stiff right now, and I don't want to break it. But anyway, so same kind of style that's on his gauntlet, also present here on his legs right there. Look at that. That boot looks very, very cool looking, futuristic type of sculpture, and similar to this kind of paint that's on the shoulder piece and gauntlets. Similar here. Some parts of it are kind of glossy. Some are just like matte. Unfortunately, my camera's not picking up. Oh, you can kind of see it right here. Almost like a matte look, but then some kind of gloss in the back. So just keep that in mind. Again, it's not a big deal for me, but something that I noticed. But like I said, the leg sculptures look good, look clean. That thighs, again, he does not skip leg days. Look at that leg, man. And I do like, what I like about it though is that texture material almost seems like it is kind of white, but it's not. If that makes sense. Like it's black, but it's kind of like a white coating underneath it. But it's actually just black. It's just the way that texture material with the light, it really makes it look like it's kind of has like a black white to it. But I gotta say, the Atrocity looks very, very cool, man. I really dig this figure. Now, the main question is this worth your purchase? Should you go out there and purchase this? Well, before I answer that question, let's do a size comparison to some other figures here. Hopefully it doesn't fall. So, let's take a look at another figure that just came out, and this is a Mega Fig. And look at that. Right here. We got Bane right here. I'm holding because I lost the stand. I dropped the stand. Just look at the height difference. It's almost the same height for Bane. This is a Mega Fig. This is $40, and you can just tell the height difference. So if you have Bane and you want to know how tall Atrocitus is, you have Bane, you can kind of get an idea how tall he is. Almost identical in terms of height. I would say Atrocitus is a tiny bit taller, but not much. Now let's do another comparison to another Build-A-Figure figure. It's going to be Bane, one of the old school ones. Oops, he's going to fall. You can see kind of the height comparison right there. So, again, Atrocitus is definitely a lot taller, but of course Bane is shorter, but he's also, you can see it, wider and fatter. So, that's for comparison, so you can see in terms of the height and width of it. And of course, last but not least, I'll do another Mega Fig that to me is actual a Mega Fig, and of course is, oops, I dropped the stand. Of course, it's going to be Swamp Thing. Now compare Atrocitus to Swamp Thing, he's definitely a lot shorter, almost reaches his, chest. So if you have Swamp Thing, you want to do a comparisons in terms of how tall he is, similar to Swamp Thing's chest, you can see right here, but yeah, cool. Now the main question is Atrocitus worth the purchase? AKA purchasing all the other figures. In my honest opinion, heck yeah, I think Atrocitus looks good. He does have a good height. The paint's good. Unfortunately, I have to ding it because of the shoulder pieces here. But apart from that, he's a good looking figure as is. On top of that, you do need the other figures. And if you see my previous videos, all the other figures in the Blackest Night Build-A-Figure wave, they all look good, man. So to get this figure, you need the other figures. And is it worth it? 100% in my opinion. Fantastic figure. I like this figure. McFarlane did a really good job with Atrocitus. Like I mentioned, the only downside is going to be the pieces right here. But apart from that, it looks very, very, very cool, man. I dig it. Thumbs up for me. Good job, McFarlane. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me on this figure? Do you plan on purchasing this figure? Or did you already purchase this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So it includes an overview of Atrocitus from the Blackest Night Build-A-Figure wave, and on to the next one.